Hello, everybody. And if I did it right, guys, say something real quick.
Saying something.
Ah, we did it. Guys, it works now. I have little buttons set up so that way we can scene transition with the push of a button. I'm very excited. Appreciation for a belated birthday gift, and I only say belated because Elgato took their goddamn time getting this back to me. Today is July 15th, 2019, and you are loved. I always feel like that is a very important way to start our streams because people deserve to know that. And other things that you might want to know is that we stream this show, Indoor Adventures, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here at Indoor Adventures on twitch.tv. We also have a Saturday show, so if you're interested in possibly hanging out for a chill creative art stream or a one-shot, consider checking us out there. Also, as this is the beginning of the episode, and I probably have the best chance of being able to tell you, I know that we're on Twitch right now, but I hope that you're not watching it on Twitch, because Amazon Prime Day, worker solidarity, this is how we chose to deliver our show, and on days like this, that was a poor decision. But if you go to Tiltify, the Tiltify link that we have in our Twitter post, then you can actually watch the show from there and give Twitch none of your money, but instead be set up to possibly give some funds to a pretty good cause. Because on July 27th this month, in 10 days, or less than 10 days, 12 days, that is how many days it is, we are going to be having a 12-hour charity stream where we are going to be playing games like Power Outage, Kids on Bikes, Dungeon World, and D&D 5th Edition, with a tied theme of fighting off against creatures of antipathy. If you have read Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, you might be familiar with the Sorrow Sworn. That is going to be the big creatures that we are going to be fighting against all four systems. So if you are interested in figuring out how a bunch of service animals, kids, superheroes, and adventurers actually managed to work together to beat that, consider tuning in on that day, because we have a bunch of fun stuff that we are going to be giving away, including Elderwood Academy hex chests, mini sets, a set of pins. We got all sorts of stuff. So that is it for my spiel about charity, which also, from now until the end of the 27th, for every new follower that we get on the stream, I am going to be donating $1 to the Tiny Changes organization because I couldn't figure out a way to actually integrate them with all of our other charity work. So, follow the channel, I'll make a donation in your name. Pretty simple. Other things that are simple. I have lost the ability, if I hit the merch cam, nothing happens, because honestly, the merch camera, is fine where it is. I changed my setup, so I can't make the same fun transitions. But if you go to bit.ly/adventuremerch, you can find all sorts of cool stuff. We got posters like this. We got t-shirts like RJ is wearing. We got t-shirts like Danae and LB are wearing. We got sweatshirts. Cyber's got his own poster up on the wall of Arjan meeting Tarlayan for the first time. We got mugs. We got so much stuff. All you got to do is just head over to bit.ly/adventuremerch and possibly pick yourself up something nice. So, before we begin, RJ, who are you playing tonight?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ and I'm playing Caelum, the Shadowkai Cleric.
Hi, I'm LBHackEmUp and I am playing Gwen, the Halfling Barbarian.
I'm Cyber, and I'm playing Arjan, the Dragonborn Bloodhunter Cleric.
And I'm Wings, and I'm playing Coriander, the Eldrin Paladin, who is not here.
Yes, and I am the Indoor Adventurer, and tonight I shall be your Dungeon Master. And to all of you video people, I'm sorry that the lighting hasn't really been fixed. I made this new setup maybe about like 30 minutes before the stream started, so hopefully it'll be better tomorrow. So, last we left off, technically we are in two different places. As the three remainders of the Four Keeps found themselves making a deal with Talon. the Dullahan leader of the free folk that have made their way from the Feywild to the Hollowed Lock ruins. You guys made this deal with him because a traveling companion named Damien, a Winter Eladrin of Wizardess power, followed you guys to the Hollow Lock ruins and actually destroyed the Waystone that had been planted there that was allowing the Fey creatures to actually traverse from one dimension to the other. Now, in doing so, Coriander chased after him rather quickly, and in a rather brash moment ended up face-stepping over towards where Damien was, grabbing a hold of him, and the two of them were taken in a mode of light through a magical gate leading to... you aren't sure. However, the overload of magical energy ended up causing the Waystone to be destroyed, preventing its use from the remaining Fey forces, and you ended up striking a deal with Talon. And the deal was that in exchange for Gwen to recover from the nastiness that she had gained from the Fomorian, that you would take care of this crystal problem that was growing in the woods about 5 miles away from the Hollow Lock ruins where these Fey creatures had actually been making their camp. Now, the three of you, again, had made your way deeper into this crystal grove, and in doing so fought some large crystalline creatures as well as a set of bipedal crystalline creatures as well. Caelum, you discovered that you had red crystal growing up your leg and onto your back, and Gwen, you realized that the crystal was also growing in the tattoo pattern that was along your back, as the three of you decided to take a short rest. And as you took your rest, that is when you heard the flutter of wings. And these were the battering of very heavy wings. As you looked up, you saw that there were dozens and dozens of large dark ravens, non-crystalline, sitting on the branches overhead. That was where we last left off with the three of you. But Danae was gone for a week, so we have a little bit of ground to cover. So, Cori, as you leapt on to Damien and you watched as he pushed the wrought iron metal key against the Waystone, the stone broke around you, and it was incredibly quick watching this happen. You saw as the intricate carvings along this Waystone ended up glowing with this vibrant orange energy, the same colored orange that was being washed over the forest as a whole. It seemed like this was attuned to winter, or not to winter, sorry, to autumn. And as the two of you turned into these motes of light, you can still feel your body, you can still feel your presence as the two of you are actually pulled into this Waystone. And that is where you saw the gate behind you as you entered into this collapse. And the two of you are sent flying faster than you possibly have ever traveled before. You've been from the Feywild to the material plane before, but never through a channel like this. And as you are flying through, Cori, there was something that you had wanted to say to Damien, correct?
Yes, but let's see if I can remember it correctly.
I have it written down if it helps.
I think I've got it. You've doomed them all! And then she just punches him in the face.
And as he gets struck in the face, he says, "They've doomed themselves!" And that's right as, Cori, your fist is once more about to meet his very, very punchable face. And as your fist is about to connect, you see him disappear in front of you. And your fist goes through where his presence should be, and you feel yourself hurtling. You no longer have a set station where you can call yourself centered, and instead you just feel yourself being flung through the veins of this fey ley line. And looking around, you see that there are a vibrance of colors, but none of them can you actually set your eyes on specifically. You are just moving far too fast, and you just feel yourself tumbling. And you feel yourself tumbling for what feels like hours, but at the same time, you have absolutely no frame of reference. So it could also be minutes. And as you continue hurtling, just rocketing forward, you eventually see surrounding you white. And this white color, as you are then shot out, immediately you can feel gravity come out from underneath you. And the first thing that you really notice is the cold. And as you look up, the colors that were once surrounding you have all dissipated, and instead above you is this deep colored sky. And that is when you actually make contact with the surface, with the ground itself. And as you do, your vision that was once again clouded, or at least clear enough to see the cloud line above you, gets covered in white as you find yourself getting thrown into a snowfield. And that cold feeling is immediately replaced with a burning sensation as you feel the acid damage now seeping in through your armor. And as you look up, the sky above you, you can see that there is snow that is currently falling. And kind of farther away, you can see that there is a storm front that is making its way towards you. You can see what looks to be a blizzard moving very quickly in your general direction. And as you take these deep breaths in of this cold, crisp air, you actually hear voices over the biting wind. And you hear, "Cori! Cori! Cori!" And you hear what sounds like your friend's voices yelling for you.
Cori's gonna sprint in that direction, wherever she can hear it coming from.
And as you sprint towards that direction, you can see farther off in the distance what looks to be shapes that are all holding torches above their heads, as they just seem to be moving back and forth, trying to find something as they call out your name. And as you run, you hear a creaking beneath your feet as you feel the tension that you actually had as you were running break out from under you, and you feel yourself begin to fall. And as you're falling, you look over at your friends to try and let them know for just this brief moment what's happening to you. And as you do, you watch as these darkened forms actually separate into small beads of light that you had been familiar with not even a day ago as will-o-wisps that seem to have led you into yet a deadlier trap. And as you fall, you feel the ground break apart beneath you, and you feel yourself falling. And looking up, you can see that there is snow and ice that is coming down with you, and you are unable to see what lies beneath you. What's going through your head right now? What are your thoughts?
I think mind-numbing panic comes to mind. And she like, is this like a slowdown, or is she just falling for like a very long time?
This is a slowdown.
Okay. I think that she thinks, I can't die. I can't die.
Okay.
I can't do that. There's too much left to do. I can't do that.
Okay. And as these thoughts are going through your head, you feel a sudden stop in your momentum and your vision goes dark. And the last things that you really hear is just the sound of metal crunching. And everything is dark, but you can still feel parts of yourself. But those parts are fading. You it starts in your extremities. You begin to kind of feel your feet numb and your hands numb. And it seems like the sound around you is also just draining away. Your vision is dark, and you feel as that cold seeps into your hands and then your forearms, and then it begins to enter into your chest, and you feel this cold taking you. And in that moment, you're not sure how long it lasts, but it is dark, it is cold. You cannot hear, you cannot feel, you cannot taste. It's like being in a deprivation tank, but an incredible sense of being outside of your body. And that's when, after what feels like an eternity, you hear a sound. And then after having been in complete silence, the first sound that you hear is the beating of feathered wings. And that is when you begin to smell. And the first things that you smell are heavy dust, a pungent, musty odor that belongs to damp stone. And you also smell rotten vegetation. And you feel the weight of your split mail onto your shoulders, and you begin to feel the familiar heft of Moonlight's Edge in your hand once more. And you open your eyes and you watch as dozens of ravens dissipate in front of you, revealing a gray stone chamber. And lighting up this room, rather than there being sconces or braziers or anything else, is a large blue tinted glass pane that seems to be hanging off of the wall. And this glass of blue is displaying saturated colors, but they seem to have lost their luster, and it is creating a silhouette in front of a large form that appears hunched in front of it. And on that glass plate, you see the still image of Gwen and Caelum actually standing side by side, adjacent to three humanoid figures made of what appears to be living magma. And you hear the voice of this large figure say, "This part's my favorite." And they raise a hand up, and it's a very gnarled hand. The fingers are long and emaciated. The fingernails are very thick and yellowed. And they make a tapping motion towards the plate of glass. And you watch as Caelum rears back his hand and speaks a spell. And this spell seems to be pulling from more of the magical weave than is typically given. You see him overcasting a guiding volt spell, and as it does, magic actually shoots out and targets each of these magma creatures. And for a moment, Gwen's eyes get very big, and also in like a yeah, awesome, but fuck no, that's terrifying kind of way. And with another tapping motion, the screen pauses again. And it just sort of seems to look towards this, and this hunched figure then you seems to rock back and forth, and then you hear and the figure turns towards you. And when they do, it seems like they are fighting against an invisible current. And before you actually see them fully turn to face you, you watch as they seem to catch on nothing for a brief moment. And then what looks to be thousands of miniature replicas of them extend outward to complete the motion before they entirely snap back to facing you. And what you see is an extensive black cloak that is ringed along the collar with what looks to be dozens, if not hundreds, of raven skulls. And around the head, rather than a face coming out to directly meet you, you see that it is ringed with what looks to be a bird's nest, just stitched and woven together with various sticks and grasses and pieces of reeds. And you also see that there is a very dark, very dirty looking red hair that seems to be woven into this nest as well. And it just completely rings around this face. And inside of the nest, there is darkness atop the first half, but you can still see the lips and the chin of what looks to be a female of elven descent. And you see along this face, there are breakouts and boils that seem to kind of just be growing along the skin intermittently. And one of the boils actually grows to a point and then falls. And it seems to actually drop off the side of her face. And as it is still in the air, you watch as it breaks apart with a cracking noise. And you watch as a raven actually flies out from that falling boil and sails off towards the wall. And this wall has a large blue tapestry, almost shaped like where a door would be. And this raven, cawing its way, flies directly into it and disappears, no longer making any sounds of either fluttering or cawing. And this is around the time that you can actually start seeing around you and really taking it in. You've kind of seen this figure in front. And looking around, you see that there are piles about chest high on you, possibly higher, of rotten food, tarnished dishware, and various broken trinkets that litter the floor. And this figure tilts its head towards you, and you see a smile kind of come across their face, and their lips actually crack and break.
Divine sense.
Celestial AF. Coriander Jonquil. Do you who I am?
There are a few context clues here. You're a god.
And you see the smile even bigger now, and inside the teeth seem almost immaculately put together. Like, in looking into a mouth, you would expect this is what nice teeth would be, but it just seems so off-putting, and they do seem kind of yellowed, almost tarnished like the silverware around. And as you say you're a god, you see the figure smile again, and there is almost an after image of what looks to be a beautiful elven woman with long red hair wearing this dark cloak, pushing her hands against the sides of her head, yelling in some sort of consternation. She's not making any sounds, and it almost seems like an afterimage that then gets kind of absorbed back into the main form of this creature that stands before you.
The Raven Queen.
Your isn't finished. I've watched. Call me a fat. You have sought answers since arriving to the material plane. How can you follow the footsteps of the first Saladrin and to Winter's Wrath?
What are you saying?
You're dying. You're not Ed. The dead aren't my profile.
That can't be true. I can't die.
You haven't died. Dying. But I can, and you see their hands extend outwards, your moment. But I would need in return.
You do realize I can't hear what you're saying. What do you need from me?
Your help. And that, she says, crystal clear. And as she says it, you also see the after image of the red-haired woman, hands over her head, just shaking back and forth.
I'll bet you do need help. The ravens belong to you, don't they?
Nods.
I'm perturbed with you. You're a thief. You've stolen from me. You've stolen from Caelum. You've stolen from who knows how many other people. Why should I help you?
Do you know how Shadar-kai are made?
She shakes her head.
All were among you. When they would, and she kind of makes a motion across her neck, they lose memories. They come here. Shadar-kai can't their past lives. Do you know why that is?
I presume you take them.
Offerings. I gave them survive in this place. Monsters, terrible. All here. Defenses were necessary. Limited supply.
Where exactly are we?
Shadows. My home.
The Shadowfell?
And at that you see again that large smile. My fort.
And you say I'm dying.
Only moments till the end.
So what do you want?
I want. And then as she says that, you see her form kind of flickers in front of you. And then it reappears next to the large screen. And with a hand smacking against it. The Isled! And she has her hand, and the nails seem to be sinking into the glass on Caelum's thigh.
Caelum?
Flew too far from home.
You can't have him.
Bring him. Bring me the child. I just want to know they're safe. Just a visit. Good, I'm not dying. Good, at hide.
What do you want with him? What are you going to do?
And at that, you don't see her eyes, because they are again shrouded by this overhanging nest that she wears upon her face. But you feel her stare looking through you. And it seems to look over every inch of your person. And in that moment, there is a silence. And she says, bring them home.
I don't know what that means.
Rookery of bones. Your world.
The giant. You're talking about the giant skeleton.
A smile on her face again, followed by intense nodding. Do this? Answers.
You'll tell me what Correlon did.
She nods again, and every time she nods, it's like the fluttering of wings. Do more than tell. I can show. Step by step, exactly how the first did.
I'm afraid you're going to hurt him.
I will not hurt. And as Raven Queen says this, you see again that red-haired individual now just on the floor, what appears to be weeping. But the figure in front of you just has this wide smile looking at you. Would never hurt. He would just come back.
I can't do this alone. I need my friends, all of them.
You will have them. Every step of the way.
And I can't do this dead either.
Not dead. Dying.
What's one more god?
Take him. Rookery of bone. Your life is yours. It's your hand.
She will just kind of look down at her hand briefly. And then offer it to the Raven Queen.
As you look down, looking at your hand, and then look back up to offer it, she is directly in front of you, and you can just smell her breath is not celestial. If there was any part of her that had believed you to be otherwise, it is again just sort of this rotting smell that seems to come out of her mouth. And as she does, you're kind of taken by surprise a little bit. And as you breathe in, you feel your body actually tense. And you feel yourself standing still. And the Raven Queen stands up to her full height, which is, at this point, you would guess somewhere close to 12 feet tall. And her figure is imposing, just filling this room, making you feel so unbelievably small in this moment. When you were communicating with Elistray, she was a larger figure, but communicable. When you were communicating with Correlon, he was around your general height, but there's something about the Raven Queen where she fills the darkness behind her. And she brings her hand up, and you feel your arms lifting and your feet kind of rising as well. And as you look down, you can see that there are thin, almost unseeable red strings that are just connected at each of your pivotal points, and you feel your body getting pulled upwards. And when you are in front of the Raven Queen, she tilts her head towards you, and says, "Had to learn how to harness seasons. You as well." And her gnarled long finger comes out and touches you at the connecting points of your collarbone. And you feel a burning sensation, something that is beyond the pain, beyond the loss that you have experienced up until this point. And she steadily begins to drag her finger down your sternum and then onto your stomach. And as she gets and goes a little bit past your belly button, and you just feel this deep cut. And with 2 fingers, she puts on one side and spreads open that cut on your chest. And there is a beam of light that is shining through it, just this silver moon color that you have had before. And with one finger, she pokes in and rakes out what looks to be a bright pink, almost what looks like you if you were curled up in more of a fetal position, and then drops one into her palm. Second finger comes in and pulls out yellow, you as well. This time you look like you have a much more angry look on your face, and you're kind of like moving a little bit, just but you can hear kind of grump noises. Third time pulls out what looks to be this orangish colored you that you have seen yourself be many, many, many times, and drops them into her hand. And with a fourth, she pulls out a very light blue, glowing, luminescent Cori. This one with a blanket over them and what looks to be an owl bear plushie in one hand.
Endor, what the actual fuck?
And
I'm not even sorry anymore that we messed with you. Like,
and it is at that you feel that the Raven Queen with this hand full of these motes of color brings her hand out, and with her thumb brings it up across the large gash that you had on your chest, and you hear a stitching sound. And looking down just barely so, you can see that there are interwoven red strings that seem to crisscross back and forth, pulling it back together. And after the last one is done, you feel so drained from what you are accustomed to, and you feel your body then fall back down onto the ground. And as you look up, struggling to breathe almost in this moment, you see along the walls a pink, a yellow, an orange, and a blue tapestry each appear. And each one has what looks to be the epitome of a particular season on it. On spring, you can see that there is a large tree that has these very thick pink petals over it, in the middle of on top of a hill in the middle of a field. On the summer tapestry, you see that it is taken up mostly by a large sun, and you can see that there are various groups of people dancing underneath it in what looks to be some sort of battle, but the figures all look much happier than that. It doesn't seem like this is a war by any means. And on the fall tapestry, you can see that there is what looks to be 2 individuals, one a man of dark black hair and the other a woman with fierce red hair, and they seem to have their hands one in the other, and they are dancing underneath underneath the trees of autumn. And then winter, you see that it is blue, that it is a snowfield, and that there is darkness above. There does not seem to be any other signifier to this. And as you are taking this in, the Raven Queen sets her hands down, and with a shooing motion, you see each one of these spirits kind of stands up and stretches in one form or another. And as the pink one ends up going towards their tapestry, they turn around to the Raven Queen and with a very large bow extend down and then blow them a kiss. And then they actually blow you a kiss, Cori, before going into this tapestry, and you see that they actually form into it. As your summer form is walking to this tapestry as well, this one, the yellow tapestry of summer, you see it look up towards the Raven Queen, just give them the bird, and it looks like they're actually going to try and attack the Raven Queen when she just takes a like a cupped hand and just kind of scoots them towards the yellow tapestry. And the orange one, as it is set down, puts its hands on its hips, looks up at the Raven Queen, looks over at you, and you can just see an inhale and then kind of a resigned sigh. And you see them turn and then walk towards the orange tapestry. And without looking at the Raven Queen, and without looking back at you, you watch as the Winter Eladrin Cori begins making their way off to the tapestry as well, and solemnly walks into it. And Cori, you feel that that vibrance that was within you is missing. It just doesn't seem to really be there anymore. You still feel, but there are just certain aspects of yourself that seem to be detached at this point. And as you are picking yourself up, Raven Queen then comes before you again and says, "Remember the prompt, the Rookery of Bone."
This wasn't part of our deal.
I said I'd show you every step of the way, and your friends will be there to help. And at that, she just puts a hand down, and you feel the palm of it press against your head. And the force of the hand actually presses you against the floor until you are completely covered in darkness, and you can hear the sound of fluttering wings once again. And that is when we are going to transition back to Caelum, Arjan, and Gwen. You guys have seen these ravens perched up along the trees around you, and there were brief moments of wondering, well, we only ever really see ravens when we're in a dream sequence, so this must be a dream. This has to be a dream. And that is when you hear as all of the ravens from these trees take flight and go into the middle of the three of you, and they begin to swirl until there is what looks to be about a 7-foot tall swarm of ravens that all seem to be spinning around in this tight ovoid shape almost.
Arjan is backing up and hopes that the other two are as well.
Hopefully our wrong character. Gwen is on the ground.
Caelum has transposed he's in between Gwen and, like, he steps in between Gwen and the ravens and raises his shield.
Okay.
If any of them start to try to attack any of us, I would like to have an Eldritch Blast ready.
Okay, sounds good. So you watch as these ravens coalesce into this shape for maybe about 30-45 seconds, and then from the light that still remains overhead, you see that there is a metallic glinting that seems to be inside of this swarm of ravens. And as it continues to swarm, you actually watch as there seem to be fewer and fewer and fewer of them, but they aren't flying out or going anywhere. And where they once were, you see arms out, hovering off the ground, is Cori. But versus the Eladrin form of Autumn that you had last seen her in, Cori's hair is jet black. Her armor is kind of a more tarnished silver color, with the black underlines to it. And you can just see that there is a thin line of moonfire that seems to trace her outline. But other than that, it seems like Cori, but grayscale. And that is when, Cori, you land on the ground in a more 3-point landing style.
Technical question.
Sure.
Long rest?
I'll say yes.
Must be nice.
Must be real nice.
I haven't had a long rest
Fair enough.
since Damien's been here. It's the reason I died. Okay, dying. Out of character. Yep. Cori lands, and then rises and kind of like flips her hair out of her face, and will like examine this new form.
Cori?
Yes. Caelum, what's going on? Where are we?
Wait, this could be a trap.
This is
could be a trap.
100% a trap.
Hey, Cori. Wait, you don't know that. Where did you meet me for the first time?
We were in Fang Zest's bar? The Rusty Anchor?
All right. The first time you saw me naked, what did you pick out of my hair?
Leaves?
All right, she's cool.
What does Caelum have? Caelum, I could. I was gonna say Faith Bean or Celestial. No,
Yes.
Caelum just walks up and
What if she's not?
let's think about that later. No. Just pokes her cheek with a finger.
No?
It's cold.
You vanished.
I've been through an ordeal.
Did you go to the Feywild?
No. No, I did not.
Hey. Okay. Cool.
Any particular reason
Very
you look like Caelum now?
What was that?
I said, any particular reason you look like Caelum now?
Yeah, funny thing, I just keep running into guards.
What?
And Caelum, you hear, "Who's this? Do they want to play?"
She's tired and needs a rest. Just briefly.
I mean, I'm sure we all do, but I mean, it's not. I mean, give us a little bit of time to talk, Caelum.
And Gwen, you hear, "She looks awfully spry. You think she'd be good in a fight?"
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no idea what's going on with her right now, so probably not.
Are you sure?
I'm not sure. You said you'd give us a break. We're taking a break.
Okay.
Cori, do you know about Dendar, the Night Serpent?
Who?
Nope.
Amazing.
Right, you don't have anybody to impress right now. Well, before we get through this, tell us what was going on, and then I'll fill you in on what's going on here. I'm
sit
inclined to
down?
believe you because I don't think that there's anything my mind can come up with that's crazy enough.
To work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gwen looks beat to shit, by the way.
Like, I feel like if I was imagining this, Cori would look like, Fall Cori. Not Shadow Cori.
Shadow Cori.
Oh my god.
It's a good one.
There's another telltale giveaway that something has changed with Cori, in that normally the vibrance that she has when in any of her seasonal forms gives her this air of exuberance, this kind of charismatic what-ho. But looking at Cori, you could see there are bags under her eyes now. Like, very clearly she looks tired.
You wanna take a seat, Cori?
I'm all right.
Are you sure?
I don't feel tired. I went to the Shadowfell. There was lots of snow and it was burning me. And then I fell right into the Raven Queen's fort, as it would turn out.
The Raven Queen?
Oh, what?
Yeah,
Goddess of Death?
what exactly is my understanding of the Raven Queen's portfolio?
She had explained to you that she was not a god of death, she was the god of dying. The action of transitioning from one point of being into the other.
Dying.
Dying.
Okay. She made that very clear. Anyway, I spoke with her for a bit. I had to strike a deal. And now I'm here.
You had to strike a deal with a god?
Again?
I know, right?
Is she prone to these kinds of things?
No.
Who are you talking to?
How do you know if you're in a dream, Cori?
I'm gonna reach over and pinch Gwen.
Ow! Fuck you!
You're not in a dream.
So what was it with all the Raven? Oh, Raven, you saw the Raven Queen.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, we're in kind of some trouble.
It looks like it.
We're
Everything's
fighting...
made of crystals. Wait, oh! That's right, we were dealing with crystals.
Right. We also have a little bit of a problem with that, too. And she turns around and lifts up her shirt in the back, and you can see her tattoos are covered in crystals.
Caelum puts a hand on her back and casts Lesser Restoration.
Yeah. The crystal formation on Gwen's back does indeed go away.
That's blood. It's supposed to affect only Fae, isn't it?
Maybe I'm phenomenal or something.
Divine sense, Gwen.
Nope.
I can say puns too, okay, guys?
Maybe it's hint
I
of
just
Fae.
choose not to.
You're not Fae, Gwen.
Fuck. I mean, that's good.
Well, if
Does the lesser restoration work on Gwen?
Yes, it does. It seems like the crystals are then removed from her. Regular skin grows back where it was.
Gross.
Caelum, didn't you have a growth?
Yeah. And he lifts up his pant leg
9 hells.
and then turns around and lifts up the back of his shirt or tunic.
All right. So, 5 points of lay on hands will remove 1 disease. I am curious.
Nothing happens.
All right. 5 points of lay on hands does nothing.
Nope.
Maybe it's progressed too far.
Maybe you need to do 9. I don't say that. That's...
9 points. Do I feel like if I used more, it would be any use?
You do not.
I mean,
How
hey.
about protection from good and evil?
What does this spell do?
Let us see. Until the spell ends, one willing creature you touch is protected against certain types of creatures: aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. The protection grants several benefits. Creatures of those types have disadvantage on attack rolls against the target. The target also can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them. If the target is already charmed, frightened, or possessed by such a creature, the target has advantage on any new saving throw against the relevant effect.
Okay. So what do you feel like this would be for your protection from good and evil?
Would it be all of them, or would you have to choose?
Because it says you have to choose at the beginning.
What are these things? Do we know?
Well,
Have you learned anything new?
It's a god, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
kind of
Caelum, you said it
spoke with
first.
her. It's God.
We're having god troubles too.
Yeah.
Evidently.
Except this god was affecting all the fae that came here. And we sort of agreed that we would look into this and take care of it in exchange for Gwen being healed from her condition.
Agreed with who?
The Dullahan. Talon?
He's a decent chap. I don't think he's going to use that against you.
He's a
We're
fae,
still-
right? I gave him my full name. Well, I gave him my real name. But not my full name, so
Like I said, he seemed a decent chap. You might be okay. Might be.
good.
Though, to be honest, I can't really be judging right now.
So what did you make a deal for? You said you made a deal.
She took all of my seasons.
She what?
Can someone do that?
A god can, evidently.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry.
I might get them back.
Might?
Yes.
What do you have to do? What do you have to do to get them back?
Cori's gonna look at Caelum, like, really guiltily. She's got, like, a really sad look on her face. Caelum, we're gonna have to talk.
Okay.
But first you're going to have to survive this. And she's just gonna kind of clink her knuckles against the crystal on its body.
Oh, it's still there. Like, I can feel out of them.
Right.
Did we get a short rest?
Yes, you did.
Thank the gods.
Oh.
I need to heal.
That's so nice.
What cost?
I need to heal my 5 hit points.
I currently have 3 hit points.
I swear I healed you for like
Don't
13 last time. Oh no, you got conked by like rocks.
So we had a total hit points of 13 by the end of that. Solid.
There's some pretty good crits.
I don't know if it's gonna help, but I'll give Gwen a potion of healing. I'll give Arjun a potion of healing.
Okay.
So 2d4 plus 2.
Do we have a plan?
Play some games, get deeper in the cave, and see what's going on.
Games.
Yeah. Dendar apparently wants to play a game. Several games?
What is he,
A
fucking
game?
Jigsaw?
I think I read that one. Game over.
No, Jigsaw, the evil fae.
The one that looks like a fucking clown? No, thank you.
That's the one.
Hi, Tyler.
Real
I have
nasty
a-
satyr.
I have a theory that he's just a red cap in disguise.
God damn it. While everyone is taking their short rest, and Cori, you're kind of checking around your stuff to see if anything's missing. You did die quite a ways away from where you're currently at, so it's more of just
did
like...
I drop all my stuff?
You're doing a brief check. Luckily, all of your things are there. But you actually find that there is a item amongst your possessions that wasn't there previously.
Oh, good.
And it is a raven skull that seems to be on a darkly beaded necklace.
I'll add it to my keychain.
And as you kind of grab it and look at it from the chain aspect of it, you see, as you kind of look towards it, it begins to shake.
Mm-hmm.
And then the head twists around and points into a direction. And you see that there is a soft pink glow to it.
Which direction is it pointing?
Make a survival check.
I'm a bitch. It's a fetch quest.
18.
Okay, you know that this is pointing north by northeast.
Rookery of Bones. Is that the direction of the
No.
the giant? No?
That would be
North.
to the far northeast. This is closer
Alright.
aligned to just being more closer to north.
That would have been cooler if I had known exactly what that was, but
You can still say the Rookery of Bones.
oh wait, no,
What?
that's not the direction.
Wait, why are we talking about the rookery?
Arjan, what is north by northeast of here?
What is north by northeast of here?
You know that Certs Hellier is north by northeast of here, as well as Greenreach, the lands that Gwen had initially been sired from.
Is that Shelley or Greenreach?
Why are you asking about that?
Those are names. What is up there though?
Nothing of interest.
I mean, so Shelley, that word has the library, right? Or
No.
the school?
Nope. The school was in Vascor, the floating city.
Vascor.
Certs Hellier is where the fighting tournament is actually held.
Well, so Shelley is where the fighting tournament was going to be.
Why do you want to go there? That's not a rookery of bones. She's just kind of looking down inquisitively at this raven skull.
Alright, don't we have a more pressing issue at hand?
Yeah.
Are we all ready?
Dendar.
Are you rested? Is
Well
it-
enough.
Good, good. Then how about you find me? My camera's frozen for some reason, but that's okay. If I close that
That's
out.
Did a cat pull it
No.
unplugged? Because that
No, it
happens with
didn't.
us.
It was just
Oh,
buffering.
you're back.
That's fine. Did you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So it says, I've chased you for long enough. Now it's time for you to find me.
Yeah, remember when we talked about tag?
Yes.
This is more hide and seek.
Yeah, this is more hide and seek, but did I explain tag well enough to you?
You could explain it again.
Alright, so well, first of all, where are we going? And second of all, then I'll explain, okay?
I think I like hide and seek better.
Do you actually know how to fucking play this game, or are you just saying things and then you're gonna attack us?
And at that, this small grove that you guys have found yourself in, this smaller crystalline clearing, you watch as the magenta forest wall that is entirely made of crystal ends up almost refracting in on itself. And you watch as it just sort of splits into two distinct passages that look almost identical, going left and right. And you see that the river actually, where it was going, the course of it shifts to kind of make itself along the walls of the right side. You have two choices, left or right.
And if we guess wrong,
Then I find you.
I don't like that. All right.
What's going on?
Playing
Yeah,
hide and seek. Sorry.
We have to pick a way, left or right. Hey, what was your name again?
You know my name.
Duder, who's speaking in my head.
You are muted.
No, I'm not.
No.
Indoor.
I was just speaking very quietly. You know my name.
I literally forgot it. I'm sorry.
And
He's
then,
like this sometimes.
Caelum, you hear, tell her. Say it.
Dendar, the night serpent.
So I just, because I don't really know anything about gods and shit, are you like a literal serpent, or are you like a dragon where you could be a person or a serpent? Because that will determine which way I think you are.
I am many things. A serpent, a man, a mind. I can be anything. I could even be you. Or your friends.
Are you me right now?
Can anyone else hear me?
Can you guys hear him right now? Oh my god. Guys, I think I'm Dengar.
You're not Dendar.
No?
No.
Are you sure? How do you know? You guys can't hear him right now. I can hear him.
I can sense divinely. Remember,
Oh.
you're completely mundane, unremarkable in every way.
God damn.
I don't like Shatter Cori. He's mean.
Alright, yeah, whatever you guys pick. It's fine.
Terrible.
This one's no fun.
He used to be. Oh, was. What?
I don't know if I like them.
It's a really long story. Yeah?
Don't you have a spell that would be perfect for exactly this sort of situation?
Guiding Bolt?
Eldritch Blast!
Eldritch Blast! Do I? Ceremony, Featherfall, Identify? Detect.
You're a preparation-based person, aren't you?
I have some ritual spells, yeah. What spell we talking?
It's at the top of the list.
Encode Thoughts?
Augury?
I do have Augury, yes. I have Augury as a ritual, I believe.
We got time.
I got time. Caelum sits down, puts his shield on his lap, casting Augury. DM, wheel, woe, or nada. What happens if we go right?
If you go right, whoa.
Okay, right is a no. Left. You know, augury has been like very hit or miss. So like, it could mean that whoa, we find Dendar, as in we actually get there, or whoa, as in Dendar finds us.
We could go both directions. We could always split up.
No.
No.
I like
No.
this plan.
I don't.
And from the left-hand side, you get wheel.
Oh. Okay. Shield back on. Left side it is.
Out of curiosity, I'm gonna get out my raven skull. Is it still pointing any particular direction?
Yes, it is still pointing north by northeast, and it has a slight glowing pinkish color to it.
I see. And it's not necessarily pointing left or right?
No.
Pathwise?
Nope.
Alright.
The true litmus test, or the true test, plants the snake staff in the ground, lets go of it, and lets it fall.
Whichever way the snake takes us is where Dendar ought to be. Yeah, snake staff.
Follow the snake.
I love snake, giant mating ball of snakes. Ugh. Anyway, go left.
Okay. So as you make your way left, you follow along what you feel like is a trail. It's actually very difficult to get your bearings in this place, as the light, as it reflects down into these crystals, ends up just refracting out, and you see it just being played out across all of the other crystals around you, making it actually very difficult to see much of anything. As long as you guys are going to be in this crystalline area, you will be rolling at disadvantage when trying to spot anything farther than 60 feet in front of you. As again, everything just sort of seems to blend together in this field of red. And as you are making your way, you end up seeing that the path breaks open almost. And you see that there is what looks to be a pool of what used to be water, but it is now just this deep pool of small red crystals. And you can see that there are what look to be crystalline trees kind of placed throughout it. And you see that this area leads to a small opening at the very end of this grove area. And it seems like it's about 10 feet wide. You guys would probably be able to run through it, no problem. And as you make your way in, start just sort of like, do you walk in? It's all of you, Cybra. What is your guys' current plan?
Cautiously walking.
Okay, make a set of stealth checks.
At disadvantage or just that's perception?
Just flat.
Oh, hot damn, Caelum.
14.
I'm pretty sure I'm at disadvantage because on account of the armor I'm wearing.
Yep.
Haha.
18.
7.
16.
Okay. So surprisingly, Caelum is quiet as a mouse during all of this. You have never seen him really be more quiet than he is during this moment, sneaking forward. Gwen, you are also being a very stealthy individual as you guys make your way in. Arjan, you can feel the crystals kind of straining underneath your feet and the click of your claws. As they scrape against the ground as you continue walking is kind of drawing a little bit of attention to you audibly. And Cori, I mean, pretty standard, the clunk, clunk, clunk of splint mail as you make your way into this grove. And as you guys make your way in, that is when you see everybody. What's your passive perceptions?
12.
16.
13.
13.
Okay. So, Caelum, you are actually the only one who sees this, but it looks like on one of these trees, you see a shape actually shift and move, and from it you see a medium-sized, almost mound-looking thing that falls off the side of it and lands on the ground. And you see 4 little arms, or 2 little front arms and 2 back legs actually sprout out with a long bifurcated mouth similar to the creatures that you guys had fought previously. And rising up from the pool of gems, you see a tendril made of these crystals that seems to move in and of itself. Another tendril pops out, and you see what look to be 2 smaller stalks that come up from it, as well as a large mound actually displaces these crystals around it, and you watch as this huge-sized creature begins to emerge from the water, this large gaping mouth looking out towards you, and it is going to be lashing out with its tendrils when we come back from our break. So I would like to say thank you to everybody who has stuck with us so far. I have really been enjoying Four Keeps Exodus Part 6. If this is your first time joining us, consider checking us out on either YouTube or anywhere where audio casts can be found at /Indoor Adventures, or you can possibly join us on our Discord, where you can ask me questions after the show saying, what the fuck was that about? I thought Raven Queen was supposed to be pretty. She is. Don't worry about it. So, with that, we are going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes. So don't go no place unless it is to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to bit.ly/adventure merch. Pick yourself up something nice. And we will see you guys shortly. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thanks, I hate it.
Oh my god, it works, and it's so...
No!
I don't like it! Satan!
What have you done? The world! It's wrong!
Yeah! Well, now you know what the Raven Queen sees out of her god eyes. Is everything going topsy-turvy? I'm scared, and welcome back to the Four Keeps, everyone. So, last you guys had left off, there was a huge creature with 2 tendrilled arms emerging out of a crystal pool, and there were also 2 medium-sized, larger forms that plunked down from trees, sprouted out arms and legs, and they seem to be, again, more of an ovoid shape. And then at the point, because again, it kind of forms up into a pointed area, you see that there are these 2 mouths, whereas the large creature with the tendrils also has this giant mouth. So it is going to then be lashing out towards Cori, as she is the closest person that had been making the most noise, and that is when we are going to roll into initiative.
Can I quickly butt Arjan with like the butt of my staff to point out the 2 like medium-sized creatures coming at us?
Oh yeah. So let us get initiative before I start. I was gonna say the shadow round, but I meant surprise round. A buddy's been watching
we
you.
about to send him to the Shadow Realm.
The Shadow Realm.
Surprise round for us or for them?
So it is for them, as they had been able to see, they had been able to hear Cori trouncing up, wearing all of that, gear. So
I don't think I can be surprised.
you can't.
Okay.
So if something, so basically, during this surprise round, Gwen, you'll be able to act normally. You aren't going to be surprised. So it's going to be you and the and this large tendrilled creature acting on the same turn. and then we move into the rest. So you still get your danger sense.
What
Who
about
all is
myself?
surprised?
Yeah.
Everyone except Gwen is surprised because she is incapable of being surprised. Caelum, you have seen this, so you've been able to point out what these things are. If you had not had as high of a passive perception, you all would have suffered from a surprise round, minus Gwen because of her abilities. So you are able to alert your friends in time that only one of these creatures is able to get a singular attack off.
Okay.
Excellent. So, Caelum.
0. We're back.
Good
Aw,
times.
yeah.
Throwback. Cori.
18.
Gwen.
I believe 16.
All right, you rolled with advantage because
I
you...
did.
Awesome. All right, and Arjan.
17.
Damn. Okay, so these creatures.
Surprise round. Guys, look. Goes last.
They're actually going to be going between Gwen and Caelum, which is fine. So, Gwen, you see this creature rearing up with one of its long crystalline tendrils and is going to try and strike out towards Cori. You rolled a higher initiative and cannot be surprised, so what would you like to do as the first mover in combat?
Do I get
I'm
a-
not. It's Gwen.
Yes.
Right.
Sorry.
Do I get a full round or just an action?
You get a full round. So basically, if you are surprised, because I went back, I checked on this, surprise round is a full round, and then anybody who is surprised can't make actions, reactions, any of that, and then you move into the standard initiative order.
Alright,
Until
cool.
the end of their turn, at which point they are no longer surprised, and then they can do reactions.
Yep.
Prize is a condition.
Not just a
Gwen
round.
would like to, as a free action, just she kind of goes, I don't want to fight anymore. And then she rages, but it's like, she's not super excited about it. And then she's gonna do 2 attacks on this motherfucker.
Her heart's not in it.
Why-
Yeah.
The most reluctant rage.
Yeah.
This is the reason why Cori's surprised. It's because Gwen said she didn't want to fight anymore, and she went, "What?"
I'm gonna reckless the first one, and that's a 11.
Okay,
And then-
so an 11 most certainly does not hit.
Yeah, and then the second attack is, why do you do me like this, dice? Is a 19.
A 19 does hit. Roll for damage.
It's like one of those dice that's like, oh, what am I gonna be? Am I gonna be the 20? Or am I gonna be the 14? Am I gonna be the 20 or 14? For 12 damage.
Okay, against the big one.
Against the one that was trying to attack us.
Got it. Okay.
That's my turn.
Okay, sounds good. So next up is this creature's turn. So it has 2 attacks that it can do on its turn. So one tendril is going to strike out against you, Cori, or at least to the best of its ability.
At disadvantage,
Yes.
because I struck it.
I'm assuming a 23 will hit though.
Absolutely.
Okay. Sounds good. I have to find my d8s because I didn't really sort my dice today. That's fine. For 15 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are considered grappled. And it can't use its tendril on another target as long as it has you grappled, so it is going to try and make a bite against you. Also with disadvantage. I'm assuming a 21 hits.
Yes.
Okay. So then that is going to be 1, 2, and 3, 4. For 16 points of piercing damage. And you are now blinded and restrained.
Sorry, hold on, I'm gonna...
As this creature opens up its mouth and brings you towards it and actually swallows you.
Oh my god, take 5 less damage.
That's very bad.
It's alright, you could just stab it from the inside. That's how it works.
You get advantage.
You literally can't miss it. Well, you can. That's
Bet.
Okay.
To be able to see to face step.
So then next up is top of the round with Cori. You are currently inside of this creature.
Uh-oh. I just got 8.
And you are currently restrained.
Ooh, oof. All right. Is there restrained? That means things.
It does. You can check out your
Speed becomes
conditions.
0. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage, and the creature has disadvantage on dexterity saving throws. All right. Can I possibly attempt to escape?
From the swallowing, it does not look like there is actually a method of escape. You are currently trapped inside of its gullet.
Great. All right. My attack rolls have disadvantage. And I'm also blinded. Oof. Oof, you guys. Okay. Well, okay. I'm going to start off by casting Divine Favor on myself. And then I'm going to attempt to attack
Okay.
the creature
Sure.
from the inside. Disadvantage. That'll be a 13.
A 13, your arm kind of struggles a little bit inside of this weird crystalline esophagus. It seems more of like it has sent you down a food pipe that existed on a creature previously. But rather than beginning to digest you, you watch as these crystals are actually forming around your arms and legs, trying to keep you more imprisoned in here.
Interesting. I am still blinded, though.
By the light, yes.
All right, so I didn't hit?
Yes.
Okay. All right, that one won't hit either.
Okay. Sounds good. Next up, Arjan, you have watched as Caelum pointed out the danger to you and your party members. You saw Gwen reluctantly rage on up to this large creature and begin attacking it. And as Gwen was attacking it, it lashed out with a long crystalline tendril, wrapped up Cori, and popped her into its mouth. Right in the mouth.
Bonus action, light the crossbow. First attack. $20 to hit.
20 will hit. Roll for damage.
7 points of piercing, 5 points of fire.
Whew.
Second attack. 15.
15 just hits.
That was the one on the right die, so I'm going to re-roll it. 10 points of piercing damage, 5 points of fire damage.
Okay.
That's
So it was 10 and 5?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Got it. So just wanted to get that correct. So yeah. Is that it for your turn? So it needs to make a Constitution saving throw, which it's fine. It does not vomit Cori back up. He's cool. Next up is Gwen.
Gwen's eyes go wide as she sees Cori get eaten. And she rushes this thing and starts attacking it. We fucking just got her back! I would like to recklessly attack this.
Okay.
For my first hit. And I'm gonna... Storm Forger is...
Sunforger.
Yes. Sunforger is a two-handed weapon, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a versatile weapon, so you can either do one-handed or two.
Okay, I will be using the run tax, but good to know. Fucking, are you serious? It's a 13 to hit on the first one.
13 does not hit.
And the second one is 22.
22 does hit. Roll for damage.
Okay. For 11 points.
Okay. Sounds good. It does not like any of what you have done to it, Gwen. So, at the start of its turn, Cori, you feel a burning sensation as you watch as these crystals, as they've dug in, are beginning to spread along your arms and your legs where they have actually pierced in. And you are going to be taking 10 points of, we'll say, acid damage.
Hello, acid, my old friend.
And then, Gwen, you being directly near it, it is actually just going to lean down and try and eat you as well.
Do it, bitch. You probably can, because I'm not hard to hit.
Especially because you used Reckless Attack.
That's for sure true.
Okay, so 25 to hit. So that
definitely
is going to be... You are raging, so that's good. That other dice is gone forever. For 24 points of piercing damage. And you are also swallowed.
Cool. Just where I want it to be. There's two other of these creatures? Is that what we're
There
saying?
are two smaller ones.
Good. You guys deal with those. I got this one. As Gwen's going in the mouth. I got this one! You guys get the other!
I'll get Cori! Like, axe out, ready to just be eaten. If anyone here has seen The Page Master, this is definitely a moment from towards the end of The Page Master. With Macaulay Culkin, mind you. So, that is it for the big one. Next up are these two smaller ones that actually hop over towards you, Arjan, and towards you, Caelum. And they are going to attempt to do a heckin' bite on the two of you. So, Caelum does a 17 hit.
No, yeah, but it doesn't hit a 20. I'm casting shield.
Okay. Arjan does a... I'm assuming an 11 doesn't hit.
No.
All right, sounds good. That is it for their turns. They just try and do some little chompies at you, but they don't actually get anywhere. Caelum, it is your turn. You have watched as Gwen or Cori gets nommed, and then Gwen gets nommed.
Yeah, Caelum just yells, Arjan, focus the big one! And he will bonus action Adder Staff, hit the one next to Arjan to get its attention away from him.
Okay.
Does a 17 hit?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Most certainly.
6 points of piercing damage and con save 15?
Okay. This is against a little one, correct?
Yes.
Okay. It succeeds on its con. It rolled a 14 on the die.
Okay. No, it doesn't. It fails.
Modifiers.
On the die. On the
Yeah,
die.
on the die it was a 14.
Okay, okay. That's it.
That's it? No poison? Okay, sounds good.
No, because it failed. It saved, right?
Yes. Got it. Cori, it is your go. And you are currently stuck inside of this creature, and you saw for a brief moment light appeared above you, And then there is a screaming halfling with a large great axe that you are very familiar with that also gets brought into the fold.
I imagine as soon as she saw light, she tried to face step, but like she's so unfamiliar with this form, it didn't work. LB's trying to conspire with me about a crazy plan.
Do the fluffer.
And it relies.
I would do it if I had it, but I don't fucking have it anymore. Indoor?
I don't know what you mean.
That's just the thing, is that I don't have it actually written down in my equipment. Now,
what was said thing?
Don't worry about it, Indoor.
He probably should. He's the dungeon master.
I'm sorry. I'm just really salty because this is I've been holding on to it. I was holding on to it since the beginning of the game, and then, like, literally the beginning of the game, I'm like, it'll come in handy. It'll come in handy. It'll come in handy. And then it got taken away, and this is the moment. I have a vague memory. This depends on several things, and I so doubt this would work. But I have a vague memory that when we got the catnap, each one of us got some, right?
Yes.
And we each had a canteen of catnap.
Yep.
I have never used my catnap. My catnap has just been sitting unused this entire time.
Okay.
So this might be the moment to get out the catnap and empty it all out into this stomach area.
All right, so if you do not have it written on your character sheet, there is a mechanic from the game Pugmire, which allows you to retroactively have had the thing in your pack, because why wouldn't you have? I believe you are correct that each one of you got your own. You have just given them away over various times, or at a moment gave Gwen them. Make a... This is Cori's worst roll. Make a history check.
Okay, Tyler, bless these dice.
Blow out the dice.
Luck be a Tyler tonight.
Natural 20!
I will say yes. You are the...
I can't move it. It's there.
Bwomp, 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 bwomp.
Holy carp.
It
Tyler,
was baited. It was
pulling out on me.
Luck be a Tyler tonight.
That's why they're getting married.
He remembers the knockout drugs I had in my purse. This is why we're getting married.
That's right. That's right, babe.
Okay, so Cori has catnap.
I uncork it and just dump it.
Okay. You watch as you struggle to uncork this and the liquid drains out. Looking around, you do not see the traces of a digestive tract.
Interesting.
So
We'll
you
see
watch.
in a couple minutes if this works.
So you watch as the liquid of the catnap steadily courses on over the crystal.
And that was the other half of the plan that I thought would not work. Do I still have actions left?
You used your interaction with an object. So I will say, because pulling out the catnap and then using it would have been interaction and action. So you have a bonus action if you would like.
I'm going to...
You have an extra attack? Or does that only happen?
You would have had to
It only
choose
when you have
either
an action.
attack or use object, and use object was the one that was chosen.
My entire tower fell apart from that. I need to make a concentration check because I took damage before. Succeeds. All right. I'm still concentrating. What do I have? Nothing. Nothing because no. I'm good.
Got it.
End turn.
Was worth a shot. You had it on you.
It was worth it just for the nat 20.
Honestly, though, it was. So next up, Arjan.
Bonus action. Hex. The big one. Give him disadvantage on constitution checks.
Okay.
Checks, not saving throws, but
Yes.
you know. First attack. 18.
18 hits. Roll for damage.
7 piercing, 5 fire, 4 necrotic. So
Okay.
16 overall, if no resistances. Second attack. It's not gonna hit. It's a 10.
Okie dokie. All right, so next up, Gwen. You are currently restrained. Let's go over this. You are blinded and restrained while you are swallowed by this creature.
All right. Let me put that on here so I know what I'm doing. All right. Sweet. I'm gonna strength my way out this. It does not give me a disadvantage against athletics, so I still have advantage on that. Yes?
So while you are being restrained by this creature, there is not actually a way to climb your way out.
Oh, by the creature. Okay.
Yeah, as after you've been nommed.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'm going to, God, I don't have a lot I can do besides attack.
You can still attack. It would just be a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Or reckless.
Yeah.
To balance, but...
Alright, cool. I will, attack from the inside. Yeah. Reckless for the first one, which is a 14.
14 just hits.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He's a
Okay.
huge one.
I'm gonna re-roll that. Okay, for 14 damage.
Woo!
And then the second hit is a disadvantage hit.
Okay.
That's a 4 on the dice.
No.
And as Gwen plumps down, she's like, I got this, Cori!
So with...
We have to find its anus!
I am scared? There's no real plopping that's going on. I would like to remind you, you're more just like... The gems feel more like jelly as you move around. They seem more viscous inside.
So sort of like grow your own crystals.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like day 3 of the Grow Your Own Crystal kit where you can see the outsides of the string having stuff on it, but you don't want to touch it. It's kind of gross. And speaking of being kind of gross, next up is the creature's turn. So it is going to deal, not that dice. That dice is gone forever. But it is going to deal 13 points of acid damage to all of those that it has swallowed. And it is going to shimmy up towards you, Arjan, and it is going to try and do a bite towards you.
Okay.
All right.
How's it looking?
Quite healthy.
I don't like that.
But
So, does a 19 hit?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, it Noms onto you as well, rears itself back up, and Caelum, you watch as your third friend is now eaten by this creature.
I don't like this.
And
Any
it sort of like
damage?
shimmies itself a little bit. Yeah, you are going to be taking... You are going to be taking 22 points of piercing damage.
Okay. I'd like to use the reaction.
Okay.
Hellish Rebuke.
Okay. So it needs to make a dex save?
Yep.
That is really bad. An 8.
Nah, fam. Five points of fire damage.
Okay. So yes, Caelum, you see that there is the large shadow of Arjan now in the crystal. You see a smaller shadow of Gwen in the crystal of this creature, and you see that there is another larger shadow, more of like a distortion in the crystal that you would recognize as Cori deeper farther down in this large creature as it tries to give more noms. So then next up is going to be the two creatures that are on you, Caelum. These froggy boys, and they are going to attempt to do a bite. That does not hit. Does a 14 hit? You have a shield, so I'm guessing not.
Nope.
Yeah, they try and do their bites against you, but it does not seem to work. Cori, it is your turn.
Okay. I have a question.
Yes.
Technically blinded,
Yes.
but it's because I'm inside the creature.
Correct.
You would argue the only thing that I can see is the creature.
Yes.
So an effect that would affect a creature I can see could affect said creature.
I will say yes, because I don't know where this is going.
I'm playing a lot of DM lawyering here.
Okay.
Does the light from my crossbow illuminate the creature?
Yes.
The first thing I do is
Disco
reach
balling
over.
right now.
First thing I do is I reach over to Gwen and grab her. And I'm going to hiss in her ear, "I can't die." And I'm going to lay on hands her for 30 points. Clicky, clicky, click. And then as a bonus action, I'm going to drop my Divine Favor, which is not helping me at all, and compelled duel the creature. And he needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
A wisdom.
Is he good
creature-
at that?
16.
16 is gonna make it. End turn.
Okay. Next up is going to be Arjan. You are inside of this creature. You are blinded and restrained.
A ranged attack inside the creature isn't going to help me out, will it?
You would already be shooting at disadvantage.
Bonus action. Okay, first off, I'm meta-wise, we are saying that this damage is acid damage. Are we saying that it's acid damage, or is it actually acid damage?
It is actually acid damage.
Okay, I'm resistant to acid damage.
Yes, you are. So you are only taking half. Should this damage come around to you?
Attacking with my crossbow isn't going to help. I could light my claws and start doing some more damage from the inside, but the thing is, that's going to knock me down 7 of my 14 remaining hit points.
Just claw, dude.
So I'm going to do that.
Not on fire.
Seems like a plan.
So I light my claws.
Okay.
And I'll make 2 attacks, both of which are probably going to miss now that I've done this. Yep, the first is a 13.
Just doesn't.
Just miss.
Yeah, just misses.
And the second is a 16.
That does hit. Roll for damage.
Uh, 8 points overall.
Okay. Sounds good. So that was Arjan's turn. Gwen. Gwen, you just got boost healed by Cori, who yelled out, "I can't die."
Oh, I believe she whispered it very creepily in my ear.
I didn't get a turn.
Yes, because your is oh, not after the frogs? Then go.
You attacked me, and then you went
Sorry.
straight over to.
Go. That is
gonna-
my bad entirely.
Just gonna stare at Arjan getting eaten. There's the crackle of electricity in his hand.
Huh. My bad entirely. Yes, go.
It's cool. I like this number. Womp, 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 womp.
Is it 20?
Yeah, it's 20. It hasn't been a while. That's 47 points of electricity. I hope I don't smoke anyone inside.
So as the electricity hits against it, it doesn't seem like it does as much as you were hoping that it would do.
You hear a muffled.
Okay.
That's it.
Sounds good.
Also, my hex has been dropped.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, so it keeps all of you inside of its gullet/tummy. Gwen, it is your turn.
Can you get out? Get out if you can! And Gwen's gonna try and hit it again.
Go for it.
Recklessly the first time, since it doesn't matter. That's a 16 to hit.
Totally hits. Roll for damage.
I reroll that. 6 plus 4. That's a 10.
Okay.
Disadvantage. Definitely doesn't hit.
Okay. So next up is the creature. So everyone inside is going to be taking 8 points of acid damage.
Fill up. Hey, that's the number I had at the beginning of the session.
All right.
Can I feel Arjan?
Yes.
I have healing potion still. Can I pass it to him?
On your turn, you would be able to,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
So Caelum, with this large creature lumbering in front of you, and you can see that a lot of the crystals on it are actually falling off in chunks and pieces like you've seen before, but it is going to try and bash out at you with its tentacles. So the first hit is going to be a 22 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. So that is 14 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And you are considered grappled. And then it is going to try and make a second attack against you as well. And that's going to be a 29 to hit. And this is... God fucking damn it. This is going to be for 11 points of bludgeoning damage. As it pops you again. And then, as you are currently grappled, the two medium-sized creatures are going to hop up near you, and they are going to try and make a bite attack against you.
Okay.
One of them is going to get a 12, which does not hit. And then
Are they rolling at advantage because I'm restricted?
that would be a 14 on the first hit then, and then the second one is a 14 as well.
Okay.
Yeah, they are just bap, 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 not really doing a whole lot.
They're doing their best.
They're trying. Just, you know, Biggin's doing better. So then next up, Caelum, what would you like to do?
What do I have? I can attack, correct?
Have you been nommed?
You are grappled
No.
currently.
Grappled currently. I can... Hold on, let me pop that condition on so I can read it. Ba, 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 ba. Wait, how do I read this?
Can you phase step?
No, I used that in the last fight.
Shadow Archive only reset on long rest.
Isn't that a shame? Sorry, I just want to read a grappled fight. So, I grapple creature, speed becomes 0. I don't get bonuses from speed. Condition also ends if the... Oh, so I just can't move.
Yep.
And me without my upheaval spell. Okay, I'm gonna have the big guy make a wisdom saving throw. 14.
Natural 1.
Cool. I cast command and I tell it regurgitate.
Okay, and command is for creatures that you share a language with?
Yes.
Okay.
Probably does not work.
Nope.
Nope. Cool.
The spell takes effect, but it just kind of... These crystalline eyes on the end of their stalks look down at you confused.
You gave me hope and then took it away right away.
Next up is Cori.
Alrighty. So, aid does not say that I have to be able to see people in order to cast it. So, free creatures within range, the range being 30 feet. So, I'm going to cast aid and give all use guys, all the rest of use guys, aid, which means that your hit point maximum increases by 5, and your current hit points also increase by 5.
Panic heal.
That's it.
Okay. Next up is Arjan.
I'm sorry, was Caelum affected by the aid?
Yes. Caelum, Gwen, Arjan, I'll get 5 hit points.
So I feel like at this point I know the creature pretty well. Does the creature have blood?
Currently, the creature does not have blood, no.
Currently? Okay.
Yes. It might have at one point, but having watched what happened to Caelum, you're not entirely sure.
Cool. First attack. 21 to hit.
Oh, that'll hit.
9 points of damage.
Okay.
Second attack. 14 to hit.
That just hits.
6 points of damage.
Okay.
Offhand attack. As a bonus action.
Sure.
No modifier on the damage, right?
Correct.
23 to hit.
23 hits.
8 points of damage.
Okay, for a total of 8, 8, and
it was 6, 9, and 8.
Yeah. Okay.
So that'd be 23.
Okay. So with that, Arjan, as you are frantically trying to claw your way out, Caelum, you watch as this creature, its lower half seems to extend outward and then back in, and you watch as that momentum kind of sweeps up through the innards of this creature, and it leans over and actually throws out of its mouth Arjan, Cori, and Gwen, seeming no longer able to actually hold on to the creatures inside of it.
Caelum's grappled. You guys are all right.
Gwen, it is your turn, as you have all been thrown up out of this creature.
Gwen is going to slowly rise, and she's going to grab the Sunforger and throw it behind these creatures and make it explode.
You know that you can only do that once per day.
Once per short or long rest.
Oh, shit.
Suck a dick.
Nice. That's what I get for not reading the rules fully. So congrats. It's a good... Hey, semantics when you're casting Fireball is pretty fucking important.
Yeah, so she's gonna do that. I used my Fireball dice!
They all fail, because the DC is 16, correct?
15.
15, okay. So the large beastie succeeds, but the lower two fail.
Because I'm grappled by this creature, do I have to make a save?
I would not make it so it hit you. It's a huge creature, right?
It is these two little ones that were biting out at Caelum, and Caelum had been grappled by this creature that was in front of it. So he is at the epicenter of all of these critters.
Oh, well then I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't hit him with it. I guess we're just gonna hit him.
Okay.
Now that I'm not fucking restrained!
Ah!
But I will hit him with the Sunforger because I'm mad, reckless. You know, he should have been rolling at disadvantage when he was hitting. Anyways. That's 13 on the first one.
13 does not hit. And your ability is only for creatures that you can see, correct?
If I hit them, they don't attack me. Wait, yes, then they do it at disadvantage.
Got it. Okay.
I don't know if that works. That he's hitting. No, that works. Yeah, because if there are two arms and stuff, but I forgot. My bad.
That's okay.
Sorry, I can't. And that's 18 on the second hit.
That'll totally hit. Roll for damage.
Okay. Oh shit, that totally bounced out. Ooh, that's max. So that's 10 plus 4. 14 damage on that.
Okay. This creature looks like it is barely hanging on to its form. So then next up, it is going to be it. And it is going to try and eat Caelum. As Caelum, or actually, Caelum, it has you grappled. Gwen, you have just dealt a sizable amount of damage onto it, so it is going to try and slap out against you. You used Reckless, correct?
I did.
Okay. So, that is going to be a 26 for the first hit.
Okay.
And that is going to be for a total of 26 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And then it is going to make a second tentacle strike against you for 24 to hit. And then you are going to be taking 19 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Okay.
Quick math.
And then it is the two smaller hoppy boys. One of which is going to try and strike out against you, Arjan, and the other is going to try and strike out against you, Cori. So towards Arjan, it gets a 7 to hit. Not gonna do anything. And against Cori, it gets a 12. So they are honestly trying their best right now, but really it hasn't been doing them any kind of service. Next up, Caelum, inside of the creature's clutches.
Snake staff. Bam.
Okay.
For 14?
14 just hits. Roll for damage.
6 points of piercing, and can I get a Constitution save? 15.
17.
Meets it. Cool.
It is barely holding itself together. Cori.
As a bonus action, I cry.
That's a free action. Let's be real here. Cori, it is your turn.
Cori's going to swipe some of that crystal goo off of her, and she's going to face step next to the creature.
Okay.
And she just sort of disappears into a void of blackness, leaving behind a couple of raven feathers. And then she reappears next to the creature, and that blackness actually stabs out briefly and pulls backward. And she reappears within that void, and she has stolen 3 hit points from him.
And that is exactly
on his
what you
temporary
needed.
hit points. Sorry.
That is exactly what you needed to actually bring down this creature. So as Cori transfers over, you just watch as this dark energy leeches out of the crystals into Cori, and you watch as some of her wounds actually close up as she does so, and this creature just sort of seems to go from this almost luster-filled gargantuan creature to all of the crystals stopping, turning into a almost matte color. There's no sheen, there's no luster onto them, and then they just begin to fall apart into this pool of magenta crystals on the ground. Caelum, you are dropped then onto the ground, but the large creature is no longer moving. And Cori just has this brief aura of dark energy before it then just kind of seeps in, and you still see that there is a line of silver around her.
When she reappears, she looks like ready to attack, and then kind of confused that he's already dead. And then she's going to turn around and run at one of the stabby boys.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Ooh, a 24 is probably going to hit.
Totally hits.
All right. And here's the thing. She's not actually using her shield right now. She's two-handing her sword.
Okay.
That's going to be a 10 slashing damage.
Oh, that'll totally hit. Or that'll totally deal the damage.
Does it deal the damage?
Blah, blah. Yes. It done deal the damage.
All right.
Yep.
Is he still alive?
Barely so.
Okay, I attack again. And that one's going to be a 21.
Oh yeah, there's no way this creature survives your next hit.
All right, so she takes him out with takes out its knee with the first slash, and then just comes back around and lops its head off with 15 damage.
Okay. So there is only one of these creatures left. Arjan, it is your turn. And it just looks at you, and you see the mouth just out towards you.
Still got my flamey claws. First attack.
How you do?
11.
11 just hits this. Roll for damage.
Okay. 9 points of damage. It's not resistant to fire, is it?
It is not.
Or piercing.
Nope.
Cool. Or slashing. More than that. 15.
Okay.
8 points of damage.
All right, and with these 2 quick claw strikes from Arjan, the lot of you watch as this third crystalline figure that you had been fighting actually disperses and breaks into crystals along the ground, and there seems to be a moment of quiet amongst the 4 of you. Oh, this cat. And Caelum, that is when you hear, you're good at this game. You're all very good at this game.
We're getting slightly worse.
And Gwen, you hear, just a little bit further now, and it'll all make sense.
Gwen's not responding.
Okay. I need to use the restroom real quick, so I will let you guys enjoy this lull post-combat.
All right.
Yeah.
Would everyone like to see my kitten who's watching my...
Show the cat. Show the cat. Let's see if I can get it to play.
Oh.
Oh, not looking.
Kiari.
Oh. Oh.
Yes, get it.
Oh my god. What a time to be alive.
Technology.
Oh.
Now, I was gonna say, Cyber, I dare you to give Lady Scritches.
Oh, well, that's already happening.
Oh. Have I told you I've just been reserving Shmoni just to dare you to do that every stream?
I see them in the Streamlines alerts.
I am back.
It's a good time.
You missed Wings playing with the kitten over the internet.
Excellent.
Casting my dark magics across the internet.
All right, so you guys have successfully defeated all of these crystalline creatures and are now standing alone in this grove, no longer being aggressed upon. And as you breathe in and kind of take these moments to yourself, you see that on the opposite side of this grove, where the pathway had been maybe 10 feet wide, actually expands outward to look more like a natural causeway through the wood.
Caelum looks down at his shield. What part of that was wheel?
Like that. This was supposed to be the good path.
Apparently.
Gwen sits down.
Caelum sits down. By the way, Cori, that thing with like the black spikes of energy, perturbing but cool.
Oh, did I do that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Strange. She just sort of like examines her hand again. I'm not tired, but I feel sluggish. Can we wait a bit?
Yeah. Cool. How's Arjan looking?
On a scale from 1 to 76, he's an 8.
He will heal. Wow. There we go. 15 points of damage.
An avocado. Thanks.
Thanks!
What kind of healing potion did you give Gwen?
One of the standard ones, 2d4 plus... 2.
Gwen is going to drink that now.
Chug-a-lug.
Caelum looks up at everyone. So, fair warning, I'm fairly tapped. Like, I think I have one good spell left.
Gwen motions to her body. Yeah, me too, dude. What is this thing? We're fighting a god. Is there any way we can even do this?
We're technically not fighting a god, we're playing a game.
You don't call this fighting? Because I call this fighting.
Sorry. That was supposed to come out sarcastic. I think I was more tired than anything.
Cori's going to check to see if Caelum's crystals have advanced anymore.
Okay. Looking underneath Caelum's arm guards and pauldrons, you see that his left arm has begun at the shoulder, creeping its way down with crystal. And the his left leg, which had also been overtaken by crystal after this fight, seems to have connected with his back.
Caelum, what are we going to do?
Well, if this progresses any further and I turn into one of those things, I hope you make it quick.
I'll be honest with you guys. I'm not going to be able to kill Caelum.
I mean, forgive me, I don't really know how this works, but the Raven Queen wants Caelum, right?
Cori nods.
Wait, he doesn't know that.
Yeah, he doesn't know that.
He doesn't know that, never mind.
Yeah. Cori's going to like put Caelum's bracer back into place and just kind of hold his arm earnestly and say, "We can't let that happen." And I think more than just your life depends on it.
What?
You could let it happen. You could see how far it takes you.
Hey guys, we have all this crystal shit around us. Do you guys want to like see what works on it really well?
Electricity doesn't. What do you mean by takes me far?
Don't talk to him, you'll just encourage it.
Don't you want to see what happens?
I've seen a lot of shit and I don't care anymore.
I wasn't talking
Sound like
to
you're responding
you.
to whatever you said you shouldn't respond to.
Caelum, don't you want to see what happens?
You'd be mad if I said no? I kind of like... He, like, air motions to himself.
You could be beautiful. You could be perfect. Immaculate, even.
Oh.
I've seen your notes. I know how... I know that you're dying to find out.
Oh, man, that notebook is such a loaded gun. You know, with my own eyes, not like crystallized gem eyes, you know?
Would you rather it happen to someone else?
No, definitely not, no. He just looks at the group.
Dude, I told you not to talk to it.
I can't help it, okay?
I will leave your eyes.
What?
And you just hear a...
I know, I don't like that. Can we take another short rest in here?
You certainly can, if you'd like.
Yep. For some bacon. Yep. Give me some big pig.
So yeah, Caelum sits down, just plops down onto the ground to begin taking a second short rest. You guys can definitely take your second short rests as well.
I am out of hit die, but I'll get the spell slots back.
I didn't add my con modifier the first time.
So, well, you didn't drop, so feel free to add that con modifier to your current total HP.
Thanks.
No problem, bye.
Pigeon, I need that dice back, please. Please. Take one of the bad dice.
All right.
Oh, that's damage.
Hey, Caelum, Cori.
Hey.
I don't know how all this works, but Gwen's right, we are fighting a god.
I mean, do you think it's too late to turn back now? would she let us turn back now?
Is it a she? Definitely sounded like a dude to me.
I think it's just whatever it wants to be.
I mean, you two are pretty involved with your guys. Is there any way that you can get help from them?
Do I have a sense of time in this place or no?
You do. You feel like the passage of time has occurred normally.
So what time would I think it is outside?
You would think it would be early afternoon based off of the sun that seems to be permeating through.
Well, I would have much preferred it at midnight, but I can say a prayer.
Cori, I know earlier you said there's no point asking the gods for things that we're perfectly capable of doing ourselves, but how certain are we that we can get through this?
Well, we don't ask Correlon for things that we can do ourselves, but I have a few more people I can talk to now.
Gwen is gonna try and talk to the Tempest.
Okay.
Party finds God.
Gwen
Praise
puts
the
her
storm gods!
What's up?
She puts her axe on her lap and she's like, all right, we don't talk, dude, but let's do this. Everyone else has a god.
So Gwen, make a religion check.
Thanks, kitten. That's a 12.
Not bad.
You feel your temples tense, and there's a strain in the front of your forehead, and as you focus really hard, you feel gas pass.
Oh, goodness. Praise Tempest.
It's a good thing too. There could have been a little bit more that came out, but you stopped it just in time.
Woo! Sorry.
Incest.
You guys do it all the time. I mean, it's just, I thought.
Elstree, are you there? It's me, Cori.
It's me, Corey.
Okay,
Are you there? It's me, Caelum.
Cori and Caelum, make religion checks.
And if they start praying, Arjan will also try to.
Everyone make religion checks.
Gwen is gonna start talking to the only spirit she knows. She's just gonna start having a conversation with Grayskull.
19.
19?
23.
23?
11.
So 11, you feel nothing. 23. No, what'd you say?
So I feel like as soon as Arjan sits down, he's not gonna know what he's doing.
Not at all.
Can he talk to Newell?
Interesting. I will say yes. As Newell had let you know that should you need anything, they were at your beck and call.
And I'll tell them that I'm in a very tight spot, trapped in a world of crystals by a god, and I don't know if that's something that I would be able to get help from Tiamat with, but I could really use some help from somebody.
And you feel like there's a moment of acceptance, and you get a feeling along the back of your spine in the same way as you do whenever Newell says, yes, of course. Usually referring to Tarlayan, but you have been acknowledged by this subservient.
Oh.
There doesn't seem to be any immediate action, but it does seem like your cry was at least delivered. It has been seen at and replied to, so doing pretty good on that end. Cori, as you send out your message for Elistrei, you feel like it was sent, but you're a little deterred by the sheer amount of sunlight that you currently find yourself in. You aren't necessarily sure if it went off at all. Caelum, same thing. You feel like yours went somewhere. But as far as the actual landing, if there has been a reply or not, you aren't necessarily sure. And as you are praying, you also hear a, "What are you doing?"
Praying.
To me?
No,
Why?
because right now we're playing a game and we need a little hint.
But at the end of days, there won't be anybody but me. Why would you waste your time?
Ooh, I don't like that.
It would just be you and me and everybody else who believes. And if they don't believe, we could make them believe.
Saloon teaches tolerance of all things, but that's... I don't think I could tolerate that.
I see you sleep as well. Even though you're not supposed to. I'm not supposed to sleep. I'm supposed to be awake.
Are you sleeping now?
Maybe. It doesn't feel like sleeping. Is this what being awake is like?
I don't understand Dee structure, so I don't know if what your relevance of awake relates to what awake for me is.
I'm with you right now. Are you awake?
Caelum pinches his cheek. Yes.
Then awake I shall be.
Just gonna leave that message on scene.
Okay.
Don't like that at all.
All right. So you all give your attempts to try and communicate to as many different deities as you can. And Yul is really the only one who actually responds to this cry out and says that they will see what they can do. But after that, your long rest goes without a real hitch. You feel very unnerved being here, as you can still... Yes.
Did you say long rest?
Short
rest,
rest.
right?
Yes. Your short rest. Thank you for clarifying.
I was about to hit that so fast.
That's right. You all did have homework that was due before the weekend. Thank you, LB.
Sorry, guys.
No. We all knew it was a short rest. Was there anything that Cori wanted to do during the short rest?
The sunlight is the problem, yes?
From what you would believe, it is making things difficult. The sun's presence as a whole is really throwing a damper into your plan.
Interesting. Moonlight's Edge. I'll use a charge to cast Moonlight.
Okay.
And then try praying to Elistrei again.
Make another religion check.
Not as good. 6.
You receive nothing.
Okay. Caelum, I think you're praying to the wrong deity.
What?
You probably shouldn't be talking to the girl.
Oh. Sorry. I'm just... Okay.
Has Saloon answered you?
No, it'd work better at night. Especially today with a full moon.
It is a full moon tonight. I wonder if we could use this to our advantage.
Camp out here until night?
I feel like we don't have a lot of time.
No.
Why doesn't she want us to talk to each other? She's cruel.
Distressed noises from Caelum.
I've been weakened by our fight. I don't know how much more I can do.
I think we're all at the end of the rope, honestly.
Has Cori heard the voice yet?
Cori is not. It only seems to have been communicating to Caelum and you, Gwen.
Is it because we curse?
Fuck. We can always give it one good try.
What if we're all like asleep and the only way to get out of it is to die?
You know,
That's
good
a
theory.
good theory.
They say it at the same time. I don't want to test
midnight.
it.
I don't sleep.
Oh, but you can, right?
I don't like this idea. It might work. It might not work. Caelum sits down, cross-legged. I'm gonna try and trance, he says to the party.
All right. Gwen stands watch.
Or he's gonna put a hand on his shoulder. Maybe you shouldn't go alone.
Nope. No, we're not doing that shit, okay? There have been enough fucking ravens and crystal babies. We're surrounded by this shit.
Nothing more that she can take from me.
What?
What?
She's got everything.
Is that why?
Everything that matters, anyway.
Gwen looks to Arjan.
What happened?
She took my seasons.
Why?
How?
Why? I think she was trying to teach me something.
So what are you now if you're not Winter? Thought it was weird that you weren't crying.
I'm Cori. Still.
Did Cori say that she made a deal?
Mm-hmm.
Like, to us?
Yep.
You said that you made a deal with her. What did you get in return? Or what did... Yeah.
my life. I was going to die.
How?
The snow, the fall.
Wait, where did you land? Weren't you just in the Feywild?
Nope, that was not the Feywild. The Shadowfell, I think.
The what?
It's where the Raven Queen lives.
It's another plane of existence.
Right. Why did you end up there? The doorway was to the right.
When
I fell
Damien
off.
used the key, I think it flooded it with more
Right.
than just the Feywild. So ley lines got crossed, from my understanding.
Anyway, what's done is done. And I don't think you should go alone.
All right. Sure.
And if the Raven Queen would like to show her face, then perhaps that she'd like to take something useful this time around.
All right. Caelum extends his hand to Cori.
Cori takes it.
Here we go.
Okay, so the two of you begin a meditative trance, and leaving Arjan and Gwen just kind of sitting looking at the two of you as you begin your trance. And as you begin to trance, you end up going to the plateau that you have been to previously, Caelum, and looking to where you would assume the library to be, you just see coils of dark scales that seem to wrap entirely around it. And you can see that there is dust and rubble that actually extends out from underneath the scales of this large dark figure that seems to have wrapped itself entirely around it. And in the world of the waking with Arjan and Gwen, as you watch the two of them enter into this trance, and Cori, you can see this large snake-like creature as well. Cori, or Arjan and Gwen, make perception checks.
16.
Okay.
15.
Okay, so 16. The 15 was actually not enough, but the 16 is. As Caelum and Gwen, or as Caelum and Cori sit down and begin to take their trance, down the opening that had extended out that you two, that the four of you had seen after you had defeated these crystalline creatures, you hear something. And it is a sound that is it's almost entirely foreign in this setting. You've been used to hearing the sound of crystal and glass straining and breaking, but this is the sound of metal. And you hear as it sounds like metal footfalls. And looking down this extended path, you actually see that there is a figure that is wearing dark black armor, and with a sword extended out to the side that you can see is the blade is actually made of these crystals. You hear a laugh that is devoid of empathy, that is devoid of emotion, that has an almost metallic-like ring to it. And you hear ha 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 as this creature begins to make its way down the tunnel towards the group of you. and you see it actually levels its blade out towards you, Arjan, and towards you, Gwen, and you hear it say, "Sleep. I dream of sleep." And it keeps its blade out towards you. I need both of you to make wisdom saves.
Eating.
8.
Gwen, you feel this ability wash over you, and you fall down onto the ground, passed out, no longer waking. And Arjan, you feel this magic wash over you, and for a brief minute, your holy symbol actually glows. And you can feel its warmth against your chest as this magic is just deflected over it. And this creature brings its sword down, seeing you still stand there. It says, "Damn it!" And looking at you, says, if you wish to free your friends, find me." And at that, you see it twist its sword down and plunge it into the earth beneath it as these large magenta-colored crystal shards actually jut up from the ground, completely encasing it. And after a brief moment, the crystals peel away, and you see that only the 4 on the back actually stayed, and in their place is a set of stairs in a impromptu cavern that seemed to lead down deeper into the earth.
In the moment that he was there, could I have hexed him?
Yes, you could have.
And give him disadvantage on dex checks.
Okay. Yeah, and he is no longer there when the crystals peel away. Cori and Gwen, or Cori and Caelum, as the two of you stare up at this large snake-like creature that seems to have wound itself around your library, Caelum. You hear the fluttering of ravens, and then you hear a as you look over and you see that Gwen is actually standing next to the two of you. And that is where we are going to call it for tonight's game. So I would like to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by and enjoy this wonderful playthrough that we have of the 4 Keeps. And thank you to these wonderful players for putting up with my bullshit each and every week. I think it's a great time. RJ's leaving. He's laying on the bed. He's feeling sad. It's fine. But again, I would like to say thank you to all of these wonderful players. Now that you're back, RJ, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ here on the channel, but you can catch me at RJustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet about the nerdy things in my life. And you can catch me here on Monday as Caelum, the Shredder High Cleric, Tuesday as Speedy, the Ranger Human, on Chris's Crowd, run by the Nate Keener, and also on Sundays on Pro Restarter's channel on 8:30 EST for Phase as G3 the Robo. Also, hey, check out the 27th where we're going to do some stuff for charity. I'm going to be in the Dungeon World game.
Excellent. And LB, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hi, you can find me Snapchatting pictures of my cats who are sleeping so cutely. But you can also find me here Mondays and Tuesdays. And Tuesdays I play Silmi the half-elf wizard. On Wednesdays, I'm on Dammit Barry's channel. We're doing Ghost of Saltmarsh. I play a Unity, I play what do I play? Oh, Yansu is a Triton. Thank you. On Sundays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm on Encounter Roleplay's channel doing Apocalypse System as Maggie, the Victorian era Hocus. We have 2 more episodes left, so it's getting dicey. We're figured out timelines are stringy, not loopy, so and then at 8 p.m. you can find me with RJ on Pro Restarter's channel doing the Cypher System as Ophi the Mad Medusa. And then you can also find me on the 27th during the charity stream. I will be running a game of Kids on Bikes at 6 p.m., right? Yeah. So, spoopy stuff. Get ready.
Yes.
I'm going to be over here with my kittens.
Okay. Cyber, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hello, everybody. I am Cyber. You can find me on Twitter at CyberWolf01, where I mostly shitpost. But sometimes I talk about whenever I go live on twitch.tv/CyberWolf01, where sometimes I do ASMR fanfiction readings, and the other times I play video games badly and talk about lore. Right now we're playing through Watch Dogs, and I'm having a horrible time of it, but we're getting through it, learning some lore about the CTOS system that's in Chicago in this Ubisoft world, and it's a time. It's a pretty good time. But archives of that go to a YouTube channel that has a very bad URL, but you can find it in the doobly-doo of my Twitch channel. Consider going there and subscribing, because not only can you get those wonderful, wonderful VODs, but you can also get a podcast like How with an N I do called Let's Talk About It, where we get drunk, do parkour, and talk about RPG stuff that we're in. RPG stuff like, well, you already see me here on Mondays on Indoor Adventures. Congratulations, you found me. You can also find me on Thursdays in our Ghost of Saltmarsh game, where I play Albus the Calastra Bard, Sorcerer, Aboleth. It's a good time.
Yeah.
But I think that's it for me.
Okay. And Danae, where can we find you? What do you do?
And I'm Wings. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings, mostly related to D&D and stuff on this channel. You can also find me here tomorrow running Curse of Strahd, and on Mondays playing as Cori, the Elegant Paladin. DanaeKeener.com.
Yes! If you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or no, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Various times. Monday through Thursday is 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Saturdays I'm trying to keep at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if I'm not doing a community game, you can usually try and find me drawing monsters and characters from memory, which is super fun. I drew a piercer wearing a scarf last Saturday. It was a cutie boy, so why not? Also, if you would like to find out more about the show, you can go to either our YouTube or our audio casts for anywhere that you can find it, pretty much Indoor Adventures. Our goal is to beat the Indoor Air Conditioning Repair podcast this year, and from now until the 27th, every new follow we get on the channel goes to support the Tiny Changes organization, which helps out young Scottish children. So, if you are interested in helping them out, consider giving us a follow. If not, wait till the 27th. We'll have an awesome charity stream going on for 12 whole hours across 4 different game systems. We even have the creator of Power Outage joining us for a game of Power Outage that I'm going to be running. So, Babars, I hope I do well. It'll be fine. I won't butcher your rules at all. But with that, we are going to be going into our Patreon-supported podcast called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community at large. So if you had any questions that you would like to give these players or myself, feel free to drop them in our Questions for the Courts channel on our Discord, which you can get from the link I just posted over there. So with that, that is it for us this evening. Guys, thank you so much again for coming out and joining me on this incredible adventure, and I can't wait to see where we go. So, all right, everybody. Bye-bye!